Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's doing some dirty dancing with me tonight?
I'm Tiffany Albertin, and yep, that's all I got.
I'm Kyle, and nobody puts Kyle in the corner.
I'm Franky.
And I'm Jared.
And I'm Lisa.
And Lisa, where can people find you at?
Sass and Sips podcast, sassandsips.com.
You remember her?
I forgot about that. Podcast. I am definitely going to listen.
You should. You should also listen to your husband's podcast someday.
Just to hear you record it. Is that not enough?
No, it's not. I need the download.
All right.
So everyone is here to join me to talk about a movie that wasn't my idea. Actually, all Tiffany's on a Patreon poll. I'm okay with it. We're here to talk about Dirty Dancing. Came out in 1987, directed by Emilio Ardolino. And what company was it again that published? Oh yeah, Vestron Pictures. It doesn't exist anymore because they're gone after this movie shortly because they did trad. Yes, which we will talk about shortly. It's always like to kind of start this off with our memories. So I'll go first. I saw this movie the first time in 06. Yeah, the year I graduated when I came back from Minnesota after I moved here the first time. And this movie lives in, like, when I'm rewatching it, I haven't seen it in a while, but it really took me back to that, like, fall of 2006. I don't think we ever watched together, have we, Tiff, since we've been together the last 9 years? Tiffany, what is your history with the movie?
When I started watching it, but I became obsessed with it. Like, once I started watching it. I had to, when is it done?
87.
Oh,
The year I was born.
So, Mike, what's important yet? I hate all of you in this room right now. But I don't remember.
Okay, and Kyle.
Well, I have heard of this movie throughout all my life, but I'd only actually watched it recently within the past 8 or so years. And I finally kind of got off my ass and I was just like, okay, what's this movie all about? And watched it and I was like, oh, holy shit, this absolutely slaps. This is fantastic. Like, I mean, I was already a big fan of Jennifer Grey because, you know, I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off a million times.
Oh yeah.
And of course, you know, Patrick Swayze, you know, me with the heart eyes because it's Patrick Swayze. Good Lord. Like, I am an asexual transgender man, but like that man could melt my heart like butter. Like, oh.
That's very fair.
I like Patrick Swayze too, and he's an awesome actor.
Oh yeah.
That's because he wasn't really a Drake queen. He was more. That's a different story.
Yeah, well, just by itself, Tu Wong Fu is just also a damn good movie too. I mean, I was even on that episode as well.
Yeah,
I was going to ask him that.
Yeah, he was in the end of it that you didn't hear. You didn't listen to it yet.
Sorry. I felt so bad.
I did too. And Franky, what is your history with this movie?
You know, I don't remember when I first saw it, but it kind of resonates with me. Her name was Frances. My name is Frances. So it just, you know what I mean? I went off of that. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Yeah, just a great movie all around. Watching it now, it's a little different than when I was younger, but definitely one of my favorites.
And Jared?
I remember this movie on my grandparents' VHS movie shelf, and it was one that I never had any intention of watching ever. But my sister and my female cousins, they would always slap it in from time to time, so I would kind of catch bits and pieces of it. But I actually just watched it all the way through this morning, and it is a fantastic movie.
And Lisa?
I have probably been watching this movie since it came out on VHS in the 80s. Many, many hours sitting in front of the television watching this movie. And we're not on video, but I do have my Dirty Dancing shirt on. I actually have a Dirty Dancing tattoo.
Yes.
I'm like the biggest nerd when it comes to this movie. I can damn near recite every line. I mean, I feel like, yeah. This is just one of those movies that is the all-time favorite. I will sit and watch it anytime it's on, and it gives me all the feels when I still watch it, even though it hits different as an adult. But yeah.
Sure. That is for sure. God, when I watched this, like, I couldn't believe how much it took me back to 2006. I mean, I know it's not that long ago, but it took me to that, like, fall when my girlfriend at the time was living with me. She the one that introduced me to this movie. And I remember watching this a lot with her. And because we also had a karaoke game that had this song on it. Yes, that one. It was on some random karaoke game we bought for GameCube. And I remember singing that, and that was also there's a famous picture of me that I can't find anymore, where I was wearing a dress, because we weren't even drinking. I don't know, I was wearing a dress and playing Guitar Hero and playing karaoke.
That picture definitely wasn't destroyed.
I destroyed it, but
Good times.
I'm going to find it.
it was just funny. You can, I don't care. I'll post it in the Discord chat if I find it. I haven't seen it in a long time.
If you find it, I would like to see it. I think Mike would like an address.
Hey, it was 18-year-old Mike, and he was in good shape. So
Okay.
He's proud to post it then.
I was. I looked good in her prom dress.
Ooh.
But
Hello.
it was pink, coral pink.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was playing Guitar Hero. It was when Guitar Hero 1 first came out, but I didn't it's memories that I mostly forgotten a lot of this, and all of a sudden it all came flooding back to me with this movie. Like, this movie still holds up, and I really like. I'm also a big history buff, so like watching this because it's so 1963.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, let's see if you can argue with me. So I was telling Tiffany I consider this a period piece. What would you say?
No, it is. It is.
No, I disagree. Respectfully disagree.
How so?
Well, can we hear why?
Yeah.
On both ends?
Right. Like, let's start with why is it a period piece?
Because it takes place in 1963.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And it references Kennedy being shot.
Yeah, I mean, the
shortly.
opening scene, yes, she like her narrative self is saying, like, Kennedy wasn't shot yet, the Beatles haven't arrived in America yet.
I thought the Beatles came earlier, but maybe I was wrong. But
other than that, I mean,
the fact that it's so 1963, and the way that the cars are, the way that it's very much of the culture of people at that time. They're very, anti-sex, at least openly.
Yeah.
I mean, the older woman is sleeping with whoever she can get her hands on, but it's still, like, the culture. That's why I consider it.
they politely just don't talk about it.
right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I mean,
I'm
You wanna
still
argue your
shocked
point?
that for like this being just really quick thing, but I'm still like shocked that like for this being set in that period of the 60s that this movie also talked about like abortion. Like holy fuck.
same.
Same.
Yeah, that
I forgot about that part.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, they kind of snuck that whole plot in there, didn't
They
they?
tried to.
Yeah. They try to take it out because
Is that right?
Then what would be the
there wasn't going to be one.
issue?
Yeah.
Because of one of their sponsors, Acme or something, or not Acme, something to do with Acme, didn't like the fact.
Clearasil, yeah.
They didn't like that there was an abortion in this movie, so they cut their funding.
Wow.
Then we didn't get that ugly poster with Clearasil on it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Ugh.
Lisa, have you ever watched the movies that made us about this movie?
I feel like I might have, but I've done like some of the deep dives like on my own, YouTube and the behind the scenes and the screen tests and things. So I'm not sure if I'm remembering scenes from that kind of thing or if it's from the movies that made us. I might be confusing it, but yeah, I feel like I have though.
Yeah, they put it explains a lot of things in here. So I'm assuming, Lisa, you're a Patrick Swayze fan also?
I mean, who's not? And his wife's name was Lisa, which I always felt like, because he didn't know me. So,
I really like Swayze too. It's our second movie of Swayze on the show in a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah. Oddly enough, you actually have. That's now that I realize that you have. How weird.
Yeah, I don't plan to do Red Dawn, but I do want to do Ghost.
Oh hell
What was the
yeah.
other one you did? Those were the only two I was thinking of. What was the other
There's
one you
Red
did?
Dawn, there's Roadhouse off the top of my head, Outsiders.
Roadhouse, sure, yeah.
I
Never
will
seen
be
it.
there for Roadhouse and Outsiders.
You sound really excited about anything Patrick
Outsiders, yeah. I actually just watched that with my daughter because she read the book. So she was pumped to watch the movie.
I saw that in the 8th grade.
She loved
in
it.
School.
She loved it.
Oh, really?
Yep, I remember watching that in school too after we read the book.
It's
I don't think we ever did.
I haven't seen it in years. I have no real interest, but I was just like with this movie, I was just surprised because one thing I kept thinking about, like when the movie starts off and because they're away for 2 months at these Catskills, I'm like, must be nice to be able to take a 2-month vacation.
Okay.
No kidding.
To be rich, I guess, huh? Kept dawning on me. But I do want to talk about the director a little bit, Emil Ardolino. I don't know anything about him other than what was in the little documentary. Is he?
The only other notable movie I saw that we would all probably know is he did Sister Act.
So, I just saw
Oh,
Yeah.
shit,
Okay.
nice.
Yep. And
Yeah.
like you compare Sister Act to Dirty Dancing, and you're kind of like, huh? But
little bit
both great movies.
Three Men on a Little Late.
Never seen that either.
Baby. Okay. Yeah.
It sounds good as the first one.
Never seen either.
Why am I married to this man with somebody?
Because you love me. So, okay. Yeah, he didn't do a lot of movies. I've never seen Sister Act either, actually.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's worth the whole show in and of itself.
Yes, I don't know much about
It's on
this
Disney
director.
Plus. It's on Disney
I have
Plus.
Disney Plus. Unfortunately, I don't get rid of it.
Oh, I hate
Of
it.
the sister. I like that one better too.
You did? Oh, I didn't like that one.
Yes, it is.
But I don't. Anything else you guys want to say about the director? I'm assuming not, but I have to ask.
I looked up his picture. I immediately assumed Emily Ard. Maybe that's how you pronounce his name, but I assumed it was a woman. And I was like, oh, that's fitting that a woman would direct this movie. I mean, but then when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, it's like the guy looks like Frank Sinatra.
Love the mustache.
Yeah,
It's great.
What also could be pronounced? It could be pronounced as Emil. Like that's because
probably.
Yeah,
because it's written by a woman, Eleanor Bergstein.
Her like.
Yep.
I mean, it close is. Her name was Baby when she was younger. She was a dancer. She went to the Catskills when she was younger with her parents. Her dad was a doctor.
Yeah, wow.
All about
No.
Nothing.
And she didn't want certain actresses because they didn't have long curly hair because she had long curly hair.
Of course,
No,
but it's nothing to do with her.
No, nothing at all.
That's fair.
But you can, I mean, I think that this helps this movie, the fact that it's written by a woman, because you get to feel you wouldn't have gotten if it was a man.
Oh yeah, especially with how fleshed out both Beatty and Patrick Swayze's characters are. Like they both feel so fleshed out as people. Like I feel like if this were a dude in the '80s writing this, the girl would just be like, "Oh, I'm so sexy," and the guy would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so cool." Like
right,
right,
100%. Yeah,
they both get like such well-written chemistry and well-written characters. Like
it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you watch the chemistry build between them, because I mean, at first when Baby meets Johnny, he's kind of a dick to her, and really for no reason. He just has this assumption like she's just some Ivy League rich kid, just up here with daddy, as he says over and over again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was.
Yeah, I mean, she 100% was. But she saw that other side of the the employee only area, and she was immediately just encapsulated by it.
Yeah.
But I really like that stuff though with it too. I mean, I think also, which you can't really tell in the movie unless you know, but Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey hated each other. So.
Oh wow, shit.
Yeah. From their work in Red Dawn, I think.
Yes.
I think they dated because there was comments in the documentary. I think because Patrick Swayze's wife makes a comment about something about them, that they had a relationship or there was something, and that's why they don't.
No, it was from their work together on Red Dawn.
Okay.
I don't remember what the issue was, but it stemmed from them working together in that movie.
But I think it also helps because, like, when there's that one part when he's trying to help her dance and he's getting mad at her, like, it's not fake.
Oh, yeah, that was a real scene, and they left it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because she just starts laughing, and he's like, damn it. And I know, but, like, when you know it and you rewatch the film, like, you can really tell, and I think that's one thing that makes Patrick Swayze so incredible as an actor, too. I really like that Swayze. I forgot he was in a few movies I need to see, like, I need to rewatch for the show. Point Break. That's about all else
Point Break.
He's in Donnie Darko?
I think so, but also Point Break is a masterpiece and one of the greatest, like, R-rated dude guy cop movies directed by a woman.
Oh.
Wow.
Catherine Bigelow, who's also fucking awesome, and, like, she's made so many movies that are, like, my favorite, especially Near Dark. Man, just incredible director, and yeah, Point Break is fantastic.
Right.
I haven't seen it in years.
Oh,
Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, he's a big grabber.
And they remade it too, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's all right, but like
surfing.
Surfing robbers.
Yeah. The remake kind of makes everything into like an X Games type of thing.
Sure.
Like everything's extreme and like the movie footage is beautiful, but like the original movie is such a damn masterpiece and like it's so like oddly poetic as this like dude bro like cop movie. Like and it's like Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves almost like honestly have something like romantic together as the two characters.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But this movie reminded me how much I really liked him as an actor and how sad I am that we lost him in 2009.
I know, fuck.
I mean, it hit me with Tu Wong Fu, but it hit me more with this because he stands out.
Oh, I know. Like
John Leguizamo stole Tu Wong Fu, okay?
Yeah, and hell, Wesley Snipes, like Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze surprised me the most with Tu Wong Fu. Like both their performances were so damn likable and funny and actually like empathetic. Like none of the queens in that movie are ever, nothing ever seems like it's punching down towards these drag queens. Like, they all seem like genuine human people, and, like, that's why that movie still works. Like,
right.
But yeah, Dirty Dancing, just this movie, won me over so much with the times I've watched it. Like I just, this movie has so many layers to it, and the dancing is fantastic, and the choreography is fantastic, and I just, like, every single time I fall in love with these characters, but especially Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze. Just these two characters are fantastic.
Jennifer Grey is really good too in this.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know her from a lot of movies. I know her from one of my favorite movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know her in a lot of stuff.
That's because she
I know. She really, she got that nose job and then she was unrecognizable.
So
And I think, what, I mean.
Because this isn't Baby from Dirty Dancing. Like, who are you?
Yes, she looks completely different. I mean, that is, you know, years and years later, the picture I'm looking at from 2024. But Lisa, have you seen a lot of her movies?
Aside from Red Dawn and Ferris Bueller, I don't honestly know what other movies she's in. The only other thing that I remember her from is being in Friends for, I think, like one episode.
Oh,
I don't know what else she's in. She was Rachel's best friend.
Oh,
Man,
I hate how much I do too, and I'm not okay with that. But I watch a lot of Friends, and like I don't have no memory. She says it, and all of a sudden I unlock core memory, and I'm not okay with that.
My Friends knowledge is very random, like very, very random. It's not like uniform or anything. Like I know stuff from certain episodes, and then there's things where I forgot about that completely.
Yeah.
Looking at her filmography, I don't know any of these movies. So yeah, no wonder I'm
that sure.
Right.
Yeah, she was in a Mortal Kombat Legends thing, whatever the hell that is.
Whoa.
An adult animated martial arts film based on the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
She played herself.
What? What the hell?
I have no idea. And Serena, whoever the hell that is.
Holy shit. I want to watch this now.
I do too. I don't know. She done some TV work. I don't know. She was in Dancing with the Stars.
That makes
Well,
sense.
of course she would be. Like,
Right.
come on.
By that time.
Dirty Dancing. Like, of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't a trained dancer either, but then they taught her in this movie, and she does a great job.
Which is amazing. Like, both her and Patrick Swayze, both amazing with their dancing skills.
Patrick Swayze just seemed like a natural.
He is.
He was a natural.
He was a dancer.
That first, was it the mambo that he does with, is it Penny? Is that her name?
Yeah, Penny.
Like my reaction when they just, I mean, like I was just watching their footwork. I mean, obviously you can see their whole bodies move, but I mean, I was just watching, I don't know why I was mesmerized on Patrick Swayze's feet. And I was just like, God damn, like this guy is good.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. I loved watching Penny do those kicks. Like those kicks, like, man, just, whoa.
Effortless.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I really like Penny. I don't know the name of the actress, but I really like that character in this movie.
Cynthia Rhodes.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
What was her name?
Cynthia Rhodes.
Okay, I'm gonna look her up now. I have it, but I like her in this. Like, one, she's very, very pretty, but two, like, she just does a great job. Like, I mean, because in the documentary we were watching, her last movie was 1991.
Whoa!
And she didn't act again.
Oh,
she's a dancer and a singer at Opryland.
And she's not dead. I mean, I was wondering maybe she had passed away, but no, she just stopped doing work, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess she had some other stuff going on or whatever.
Right.
She was in Flash.
She was in Flash Dance.
Yeah.
Okay. Another
Never seen it.
Another 80s dance class.
The writing of Flashdance is exactly like Dirty Dancing.
It's the same one. Yeah.
Another 80s dance classic. I mean, seriously.
No.
Okay. I've never seen Flashdance. I've never seen any of these movies.
What about Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Never seen that either.
She was the girl doing the mambo. No.
You've never seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No.
That movie's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to divorce this man.
There's a director called Tim Burton that did that movie, and I don't. You probably listen enough to the show, Kyle. I don't like Tim Burton.
How dare you?
At all?
I know.
You're a Batman fan, right? Tim Burton, Batman?
Yeah.
I like Batman.
I mean, I would understand if this is modern Tim Burton, but like Ed Wood is a masterpiece of a film, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure is also excellent, and Beetlejuice is a lot of fun, and like seriously, what the hell?
Don't get me started on Beetlejuice, please.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're talking about Dirty Dancing.
Well, I did Beetlejuice already on this movie, and I wasn't friendly. I like the new one, actually. It's really weird. I don't know why I did not like the original, but I make no sense.
Dirty Dance.
I also love, because this movie is a period piece, but I like the way, I feel like it captures someone that was born in the 80s. I think it captures the 60s in a like the way that the culture is of the people, of how the rich look down on the workers and the poorer people, which hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But like they just do a good job with it, and I really appreciate everything about this film and the way it captures it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how his father lets the girl run away all the time and have sex, but you know, hey.
Going back to what you said about it being a period piece, I think that is true, but I think that it's kind of true on two levels, right? Because you have that dynamic of the 60s kind of going on, but you also get it from that 80s perspective. Because it's not just the 60s, right? Like we're blending a lot of the 60s music, but then for us, we get the 80s thing. We have Hungry Eyes. We have I've Had the Time of My Life. We've had She's Like the Wind. And even though, you know, none of those things were around in the 60s, but they blend it so seamlessly that we get this look of how the 80s perceives the 60s. And I think that that's like a fascinating take on it.
But also all the scenes with 80 music, besides the final part, they don't hear the music.
Right.
I also appreciate that. Like they hear the 60s music, but when you hear the 80s music, they don't, besides that last part. And I think that helps the movie a lot too.
Yeah.
Well, in the last song, because they had to do You Had the Time of My Life, which is a great scene, but I appreciate that everything is of the time.
Yeah.
I really like that. But they try not to go away from that, except for the scenes where they're not listening to music. And we are. I also really like 60s music, and I forgot.
Yeah, same.
Like the 50s.
60s has some damn bangers, you know? Like,
well, this is early 60s.
This is one of my favorite soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great soundtrack.
It really
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic sound. It's so good. Like,
it's actually one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time for a movie.
Not surprising.
Did you do your own?
Oh, yeah, I did lots of homework on this. And as long as we're talking about Time of My Life, a little more research. It was number 1 on the U.S. Top 100 for a week. And the song was written specifically for the movie.
See, I didn't know that.
Yep. Because I wondered about that. Because there's a lot of songs where they just kind of throw it in and it's perfect. But no, this song was written specifically for the movie. It won an Academy Award for Best Original Song. It won a Golden Globe Award. And it was nominated for a Grammy. But I guess it didn't win. It should have won. Yeah, it should have.
Anytime you hear that song, you're just
absolutely
right back to that scene. Yeah.
It's this, this song is this movie. Like anytime you're going to hear it, it's going to take you right back to this movie.
Yeah.
I like this song a lot.
Same.
I thought it was just so random that it was on a random karaoke hero game that I had for GameCube. The fact that was on. Yeah. The same time that I watched this film, it was all like, again, it's just this little chunk of my life that didn't last very long. I did. Actually, she left when she got pregnant. So this movie was that little bit of time before she got pregnant, before she left. But that's it here or there. Well, she moved and I moved with her. That's fine.
Mike,
I moved.
Mike, do you need a soda?
Actually, I have a seltzer water.
Yeah, okay. A hard seltzer.
Good.
But no, I always, in this podcast, I always try to state what a movie means to me or what the part where it has to do with me. And I didn't realize till I was watching this 2 nights ago how much this movie is from a very particular time for me in my life.
Oh, of course.
All of us can kind of relate. Like from the time you first seen it to, now rewatching it. It's definitely changed in my eyes. I'm more for Baby's father than I was back in the day when I first saw it. I support him a little bit more now.
No, totally.
Because you like rich.
I think I like rich guys, obviously.
Yeah. I'm actually in kind of a weird period of my life where here's the thing. So, I'm 35 years old. I totally get what Baby's father is going through and, why he takes it so hard. But honestly, I totally get where Baby is coming from and, how she grows as a character and, why she fell in love with Patrick Swayze but also, why she wanted to help just for this, she wanted to help everybody.
Yeah, she wanted to go into the Peace Corps.
Well,
that was her goal in life.
But just, I don't know, I kind of get that youthfulness where I feel like a lot of adults may, lose that youthfulness where, I had a bit of a stunted, I had a bit of a stunted teenage years and adulthood. So, sorry, long story short, when I was 17, I actually attempted suicide, and that kind of stunted my adulthood, and it wasn't until about 26 where I came out as transgender, and I don't know, there's still lots of occasions where, I totally get where the adult and the parent is coming from in, a movie or a book or a TV show, but, I don't know. I can still actually get why a kid would do that, and not just because like, oh well, they're a stupid teenager. Like, no, I still kind of get where they're coming from. Like, I don't know, like it's something in me.
No, it's
like,
fair.
No, I get it.
It's also younger and being, well, not younger as in being immature, but just being not as fickle and corrupted by the world yet.
Oh, totally. Like,
because that's what,
that she just got that like $250 for Janet, I believe, and like that she just got it. Like it wasn't like a thing for her. Like it's just like, hey, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, could I get a loan for $250? Like a friend needs help. Like
can't tell you why. Yeah, we actually looked at we were talking about that. We were talking about that before the show. And yeah, $2,500 in today's time. Money.
Well, of course, but also like remember, this is the '60s too. So not only would the price be way different now, but she was also using that money for an abortion. So that's not
parent that wouldn't say, "What do you want the $2,500?"
Well, no, it's that, but also like abortions are barely covered as is, and like anything like that, like this isn't where you could just walk into a Planned Parenthood and talk to a doctor, or like talk to a doctor. Now. Yeah, I know. Oh God. But yeah,
no, trust me. I was thinking about that. Like, then this movie is hit a little too close to home as it would be in 2025.
Where it's not like now where it's a bit easier to get help, like say an abortion. We're like, this is the '60s. Like, how the fuck do you talk about that? Who do you talk to, and how do you not get into some back alley dangerous surgery? Like,
well, and she did.
Right, that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
See, Kyle, you also live in a good place. You live in Canada.
Yeah. We have people.
And you're talking to us?
Yeah. Well, we do have our batch of our own assholes who are trying to take those rights away. Yeah. Like,
I think the fact that it's in the '60s, I think also works really well to kind of show, especially in the time that this comes out in the '80s, when you have Roe versus Wade and everything. I think it's a very good to show. I think people need to see this, especially politicians. To show like what people had to go through, and the fact that she lets she has to let someone essentially, the way they describe it is like a butcher. He's like, oh, you had a dirty knife. Like, couldn't the guy at least be sterile? He's a doctor.
Yeah, no kidding.
Was he really though?
Yeah, that's a
good point.
Right.
See, I didn't see it the same way. I saw more Baby's character being extremely naive and kind of playing the role of where the bad boy is just so attractive at that age, especially how sheltered her life was. It was almost like a little bit of bad, and she was just head over heels.
Anything I can do to get his attention.
Oh, 100%.
Which is also interesting because, like, in the long run, it was never Johnny who did any of that stuff. It was fucking Robbie being a slimy piece of shit.
Right. And he was supposed to be this
like Ivy League,
exactly,
doctor or whatever. But
what were you gonna say, Lisa?
Oh, I was just going to say that I think that also one of the things is that she's supposed to be 17 in the movie, and she sees her dad as someone who helps people and has taught her those values. And I think that one of the things about being 17 is that you feel like you have a grasp on right and wrong, good and bad, but everything is not so black and white. And I think that that's one of the things that she learns in this movie is that where she came in with good intentions, absolutely, she was naive. It was like, there's a lot more than just go ask daddy for money because somebody needs help. While it's a good thing, she misses all, it's like the tip of the iceberg. She doesn't understand everything that's underneath it and everything else that goes into it. And I think that the biggest part of the movie is her growth from arriving at Kellerman's to leaving Kellerman's and learning about there's all different kinds of people, there's all different kinds of situations. And while it's great to want to help people, not everything is just so neatly wrapped up with a bow. And, it's like this, it's just like a huge growth for her and for her character.
And you see that transition in her clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Because she shows up and she's got like the skirt or the dress on with the sweater and, no makeup on her face and her hair is just natural. And it kind of made me wonder, like, where did she get the clothes? I wondered that a little bit. Like,
Sister Lisa.
You think so? Yeah.
Well, Lisa still was dressed.
Yeah, because she was still wearing, the poodle skirts and had her hair all done. And
it is the '60s.
Right.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just stole it like the old couple did.
You kind of see it in that whole training montage where like she's practicing all the dance moves, but then like as it goes on, like her clothing is getting skimpier. Yeah.
She's also half naked a lot in this movie.
Right. And it made me question. Like, okay, obviously she didn't pack these clothes. There's no way she would have had these clothes because Dad was buying them for her.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I guess you're not supposed to think about. But you see it as the development of her character.
I mean, because they are in the middle of nowhere, so they're not traveling anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking, honestly.
Her clothes are tied up shirts. I mean, could they not be button ups that she would have normally worn?
Right.
They are because one scene shows her with tied up, right?
Yeah.
And the next scene it shows her with just wearing it like, oh, I gotta go back to Daddy now.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah. Anytime that she was with her family, she was kind of wearing what she normally, like, I guess what her parents would expect her to wear. But anytime she was with Patrick Swayze and all that dancing crew, she was wearing, I mean, Christ, next to nothing.
Right, got the short.
Yeah.
I also want to say, like, the fact that they mentioned about how Kennedy gets killed, I mean, I believe that's also a very big point to this movie, too, because when Kennedy dies, it kind of took away hope for a bit in America with the same sense. Like,
She was just kind of setting up the, like life was good.
But I also think it also sets, like, what the movie is trying to say, where, like, this is at the time where you are more innocent and more unaware. It also made me think of the song Strawberry Wine.
Yeah.
I like that song because it's about a woman at 17 that has sex and then he leaves. Because I'm 100% positive at the end of this movie she never sees Patrick Swayze's character ever again. Never. 100% positive. He's gone. It's a
safer abortion than
it's a summer fling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what the movie is. I mean, I forgot that. Like, all that dancing would have been pretty much, like, almost illegal back then, wouldn't it?
Well,
oh, God, yeah.
That's why they were hiding out in that.
Right, yeah. There was so much hip gyrating and, like, booty shorts and flannel shirts unbuttoned.
It's also very, like, ethnic. Like, Patrick Swayze's dancing is very ethnic. Like, that's another thing, too.
That's a good point.
I didn't think about that.
I think for me, that's one of the things that drew me to the movie because I come from a family of dancers, and I think about the time I could walk, we started to learn how to dance, mambo, salsa, whatever, and you didn't see stuff like that on, quote, regular TV, and the fact that the mambo was so prevalent, it was kind of comforting to somebody like me,
That's cool. I am not a dancer or anything like that, but that's really cool. No, I knew how to tap dance at one time. Does that count? I went to a art school and they taught us how to dance and do a few different things, but this was back in elementary school.
It's worse than when you do DDR.
I can play DDR and Pump It Up, apparently. Well, they're both Japanese. Pump It Up is just not Konami, so it's a little different. I don't like it as much.
My way was funnier.
I played a lot of DDR. A lot of DDR when I was younger. But no, I can't dance otherwise. I don't try either.
I had to bribe him to dance our way.
Yeah, really? Sounds accurate. But that's neither here nor there. So we're not going to talk about that. But
it's about being a good dancer. Just gotta have fun with it. Who cares?
Really?
Everyone looks
Exactly.
Yeah. Most people out there are looking kind of silly.
We all do. But we all have fun.
Oh, a great time.
I don't know. That's just me. But I actually don't have many opportunities to dance. I don't go to many places where people dance.
Gotta change that.
You do, but you don't.
Yeah. I try not to.
I know.
Hey, when I went to a bar one time, I beat Phantom Hourglass for Zelda on the DS. Go ahead. She was very mad at me.
Frankie, we're doing fireball shots.
Yep. I had to go outside. I had to blow it.
Pass me the fireball.
But I do like how the guy that we were talking about earlier, God, Robbie's his name, right? The asshole, the president. Like, I like it that they take someone that is supposed to be like, like you said, Ivy League, like all that, and not be a Mr. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's such a douche too. You remember?
That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. Robbie is a douche.
Do you guys remember in the movie he came out of the woods with baby sister,
and she was like putting clothes on kind of hurriedly. Yeah,
distraught because he had tried to go farther than she wanted to.
Right.
But then there's a scene in the movie where she says, "I might do it with." Right? Isn't that what she said? I might do it with them.
I might go all the way.
I might go all the way.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
But her dad didn't see anything wrong with that because this was the Yale graduate. And if you remember the dream that Patrick Swayze had, and he tells Baby about it, he says, I had a dream that your dad treated me just like Robbie. He put his hand around my shoulder and said, hey, let's go. It was a very, not a very descriptive dream, but he was basically just saying, like, I had a dream that I was Robbie, is basically what he was saying.
Yeah, right.
But Robbie's a complete piece of shit.
But money.
But nobody
But
knew
money.
that.
Exactly.
He also pretended to be something he wasn't.
Right.
Nobody would have thought that he got Penny pregnant, in my opinion.
Well, he rants on himself, which I think is funny.
Yeah. He shot himself in the foot hardcore.
I like to like
The
that.
dad hands him the money. He says, hey, and you're okay with me knocking up Penny, right? And he's kind of like, what?
He thought it was, he thought
It was money.
Right.
No, it was
Oh.
money. He
It
wanted
was
a
money.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it was. Yeah. He
Yeah.
hands him something and
I think
then
it's a
immediately
recommendation.
takes it back. Right.
I mean, you gave someone essentially $2,500, so why not give it more people?
Exactly.
First of all, he's a doctor. Let's even
But he must not be an intern, because Grey's Anatomy taught me if you're an intern doctor, you make nothing.
interns are what you are before you become, and maybe at a private practice.
I've watched
too.
way too much Grey's Anatomy, not by choice, but I've seen a lot of it on the side.
Be a well-trusted, known doctor wherever the.
I feel like he has a private back.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
You
feel
think
like
he gets
that's
paid more than the interns in Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, yeah.
Training.
See what happens.
Do the attendings get paid better in Grey's Anatomy?
A little bit.
So they all live in that same damn house at one point.
Well, that's for
So-
ratings.
I know.
They're all fucking each other too.
That too,
Yeah.
yes.
It should be Gray's STD clinic, not Gray's Invest.
Hey, there's an STD. Someone get to get an STD in that one that says season 2 or 3.
Well, there you go.
Gets
So, enough of Grey's Anatomy. Back to
Hospital.
The whole
Yeah, any STDs in this movie, but they were all fucking each other.
And maybe we just didn't see that part. Maybe he was also treating STD. That's the reason he was actually there.
Right.
Little do you know. Yeah, he was the special guest. He was the one treating everyone.
Right. There's a pandemic here at the resort. I'll let you stay for free.
I do like when the older woman, like, 'cause there's one that wanted to sleep with Patrick Swayze's character. And I do like how he's like, well, they were using me.
Right.
And I think that's also something that, yes, but I think
Yeah.
it's something good to have in the 80s because I like when movies or anything fiction shows women being in charge of their sexuality.
Yes,
I talk about this a lot, and I will always bring it up. And I think that this movie does a good job of showing it and also, showing it in the 60s.
Meaning she, tell me how. Like, wasn't she cheating on her?
Yeah,
100%. 100%. Yeah.
No, is that empowerment or just being terrible as a person?
It's a little bit of both.
I'd say it's more terrible.
I think it's
Actually,
terrible.
you know what? No, you're right. I don't see any empowerment in that whatsoever.
It would be like some single lady grabbing him by the balls and being like, whatever. But
new.
I don't know if he did. I think he was just didn't care about anything.
He was just a
I don't know
compulsive
if he-
gambler who left
Yeah.
for the week.
I don't think he was like, he was like, I'll take her for extra dates.
Right.
He understood that this man was attractive to most women, right? As we all see.
I mean, he can't not. Look at Patrick Swayze.
Right.
I don't find him attractive. I don't know. I get it. Like I've seen
Because he wasn't
posts
rich in
and
this
all of those.
movie.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because I can. And you're drinking, so I can mess with you more.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently.
You're making me feel much better about our relationship, by the way.
Excuse me, I'm also drinking a little bit too, but not much.
Anyways, but yeah, like I don't know if I would call her empowered in any way. I think she's just a sad woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily love her husband at all.
Right.
And
But it is
just
the 60s.
taking advantage. It's insanity.
But you can't divorce in the 60s.
You can't divorce a rich man in the 60s.
Right.
It's nothing.
A woman can't divorce in the 60s.
70s, and she needed witnesses that said he beat her for the court touch.
He only tried to shoot her with a shotgun. He was a nice guy.
Okay, but just that woman was not beaten or anything. She was
No.
living a life of luxury off an old man's
Right.
back.
What
Knock it off.
did they call
I'm
her?
okay with that, though. Fuck him.
Yeah.
What
So I don't care.
was the nickname that they gave her? It was like the weekend
Bungalow.
bungalow. The bungalow bunny.
Bungalow
Yeah,
bunny.
the bungalow
But
bunny.
it also-
Yeah.
Some of that.
Yeah.
It also insinuates that
He's so
a lot of
empowered.
women are doing it. I consider it empowerment when in a movie fiction
When a
show.
whore is empowerment.
Well,
I think by being able to choose your partner and saying like I want you or whatever is empowerment.
But it is also the 60s.
Being a disgusting, low down slut does not empower you.
Yeah.
It means you are insecure and sad.
Right. And that's not it. The entire staff of the waiters, the men, he's like the head honcho of the whole thing. He told them show the ladies the time of their life. And it's like, we know exactly what the fuck they were talking about. But then when Patrick Swayze and his crew shows up, he's like, fuck you guys, don't touch the women whatsoever. But these guys were all the Ivy League rich kids, whereas Patrick Swayze's crew, they're all just the low down dancers. The dirty dancers. Exactly. And that's what set up the whole cultural wall.
And I like that. I think that
absolutely.
Also, I liked it in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
But I've always been that kind of person when it comes to, even though you are right, she's being a whore, I'm still like it in movies.
No, she said slut.
I don't think we should call her. Yeah. They weren't paying her.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't make her a whore.
It's different. And
correct.
you know what? And I'm not, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying any of those things, like, really. I just don't think she was empowered by, she must have
You
really
didn't like my opinion.
self-esteem if you're jumping bed to bed.
Right.
She's gonna tell you she don't like her.
That's fine. That's what the show is for.
Yeah.
I think your opinion is false.
That's fine.
There you go.
I think you put this woman on a pedestal and she was.
I would have been one of the suckers too at 18, 19.
Mike would have been banging everybody.
I would have. 18-year-old Mike was a dumbass. Yes.
She was older though.
I
Like
think
she was
she was
like
hot.
young.
No.
Well, I don't think she was like she wasn't ugly.
Right.
I also had a thing for older women, especially when I was younger. So
Like, just take the
Yeah.
Where's this?
Let me take that shovel from you.
oh no, this is normal. She knows. She knows more than I'm going to say on here. But
Like older women. You are older.
After you are older, yeah.
she's older than me.
Okay. We're safe. I'll hand you that shovel back.
Oh my god. Okay, Mike, maybe just not talking.
No more
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Moving on.
I'm barely drinking the alcohol, unfortunately. I'm not at home, so I can't. Or I'd have a spotted cow with me. But no, I mean, it's just something about this. Like when I was watching this movie, I just realized how much I enjoy everything about the film. And also, one thing that this movie does that I always enjoy in movies is I like when you just have stuff montages with music. I really like that.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I also like how this movie focuses a lot on their feet. I do, because they're dancing and it focuses on their feet.
He has a feather.
Like I said earlier, like I was like when Patrick Swayze did his first dance, like that's all I could look at was his feet, and I was like, God,
He's an attractive man.
yeah, his feet are attractive anyway. I mean,
He's wearing boots and all those things.
yeah.
But Patrick actually, okay.
Also,
Watch that before we get into
how many tuxedos does he own in this film? That's all I want to know. I mean, apparently, yeah.
Don't you think they probably provided them?
I don't think so. No, because Max hated the guy.
He's a contractor,
Right.
essentially.
One, and he just cleaned
They
it.
pretty much tell him at one point that if he doesn't do the job or one of the dance they miss, they don't get paid.
Right.
I mean, it's fair. If you don't do the job, you don't.
He don't get paid at all.
I don't.
No, if you miss the one thing, you void your contract.
Right.
No money for you, even though you worked for
Because
him.
that was the whole deal
You gotta get a contract.
why Baby and Patrick Swayze got together. Baby and Johnny. That's the whole reason how their relationship developed.
Right.
Was because
Penny.
he had to go to some hotel to do a mambo with Penny, but she couldn't do it.
Right.
So Baby did it, and that's when the whole
Yeah, they wouldn't get paid. They would lose the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And he needed it. But yeah, shitty contracts. Like they,
That small print, man.
Can we talk about that dance that they did together at the hotel?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
it was cute. You know what I mean? Like he was kind of like yelling at her, like, "Oh, you're going the wrong way. Oh, you're turning this way. You know." And she didn't do the lift, but
She played it off.
yeah, she played it off very well, and he was really cool about it. I mean, like,
Yeah,
in all respects, he could have chastised her, like, you fucked everything up, but no, he was like, you did really good.
Yeah, but if he would have done that in front of everyone.
No, obviously he wasn't going to do that.
they would have known. It's the idea that you're hiding that you don't really know what you're doing, and the other people don't know.
Right. I mean, they still applauded. They still enjoyed their night watching them do the
To be fair,
musical.
they're all probably drunk off their ass.
I'm sure they were too.
Vacation.
I didn't quite get like so. If you remember, after they did the dance, they saw like a certain couple who was staying at the hotel. The Schumachers, whoever the hell they are. Yeah. Oh, is that who? Okay, the thieves. Okay.
I didn't know it either until we watched the movie. She's like, "Oh, that little old couple's the one stealing everything."
Yeah.
I didn't know it either.
I mean, they saw them and kind of freaked out. I don't really understand why they freaked
because
out.
they saw them together as a couple, kind of, and then they could go tell her father.
Okay.
So
I guess it kind of makes sense now.
I didn't know she was 17 in this
Yeah.
movie. I thought she was 18 at least.
That's what I thought too. That kind of makes it all the more creepy.
Patrick Swayze is, as you guys say, a good-looking man, and I use that loosely because I don't find him attractive. But as a 17-year-old girl, he looks like an old man.
It's never really established how old he is.
He's old, dude.
He's got to be.
He was in his 30s when they made this. So.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
character.
But to be fair, the cast of Grease, they were all supposed to be high schoolers, and they were all in their 30s and 30s. yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Grease is a special movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she put up a fight?
Right.
Didn't.
Oh, sad.
Okay.
He was 25? Oh, okay. You look
No, I believe Google. I'm just saying, that's getting a little.
Yeah.
he looks-
Also, Carol Channing screaming at the top of her lungs, and then the final act of Grease. I'm not pregnant.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
I should rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
Grease is a great movie.
That's a
Watching
great
it now,
movie.
It's kind of like watching this now, where it's a little
seen
bit creepy.
Yeah.
Grease is
That's that
yeah.
vulnerable.
I mean, that is.
I do want to rewatch.
Terrifying.
I mean, I think one of the characters truly that was supposed to be in high school was like 35 years old.
Stalker.
That was
Stalker.
who's that?
Stalker Channing?
I don't know either.
Oh,
Rizzo. Yes, Rizzo. Yeah. I think she was the oldest one of the cast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm
But
sorry,
anyway.
Stalker Channing. I said Carol Channing. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Sorry. My
Oh,
bad.
that's fine. I do want to say that I know
Also a great soundtrack, by the way.
Patrick Swayze hated the line, nobody puts baby in the corner.
He hated that line?
He thought it was stupid.
Really? Wow.
Because they paid him.
Because like I said, I watched it all the way through today, and when he said that, I was like, fuck yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It does kind of amp you up, though. You know what I mean? It's him finally kind of fighting for her. Where
Right.
the whole time he's
Yeah.
just like, I'm not good enough. I'm
Right.
never going to be good enough. And like, but everybody in the resort wanted him. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
He had
Because he thought that everyone was just using him.
They were.
But he said, right, 100%. 100%. So I guess I should say he knew that everyone was using him, but that when he saw that baby was fighting for him, and he said that several times, like, no one has ever fought for me like you did.
Sure.
That's when he finally, like, he left, and then he came back, and he went up to the dad who hated his fucking guts. And he was just like, give me your daughter. Let's go. Boop, and by that line, like, nobody puts baby in the corner. Fuck yeah.
Let's get the mother stopped.
The mother, exactly. Props to the mother.
Maybe she told him that baby still looks at Johnny the way I still look at you. Yes, she does too.
There was actually a scene. Okay, right. So it's funny that you say that. That scene where, I mean, it's a very discreet scene, but like, he's like, hey, I gotta go to this hotel and do this thing, blah, blah, blah. And he's walking away, and she goes, Johnny. And he turns around and looks at her, and they just stare at each other for a couple of seconds, and then they just smile at each other. I'm not gonna lie, that made me well up, because I was thinking about myself and Franky. I was like, oh my god, like that's exactly how I look at her.
I mean, there's a lot of cute scenes.
Yes,
There really are.
yes. No. I have it in my notes. That kind of made me well up a little bit, because like I get it, like how he was looking at her. He was kind of looking at her all hard and shit, but then he smiles at her. I was like, dude. That's how I look at my girl right over here, Franky.
Oh,
It's a very sweet movie. I mean,
Yes.
it is. And I really like this movie. I forgot
once
how much I
again,
like
can
this
you
movie.
tell a woman wrote this? Because like,
Oh God, 100%,
these
100%.
really nice emotional moments. I'm not saying men can't do emotional moments, but like, come
Yeah.
on, like, especially in the 80s, like a woman would totally have this type
Yeah.
of stuff.
And props to the director too for being a male. Again, I thought it was a woman because I thought it was Emily, but I mean, still, like, yeah, he really, I think, kind of kept it as it was written, like at how a woman wrote it. Yeah, which in the 80s is surprising.
Well, this was a documentary about dance. You really
Dancing with High School.
dancing in high school.
Yeah, that sums up this.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
It wasn't creepy, but it does make it sound creepy, yes. But yeah, he also passed away.
The chemistry they had, though, like even in like the passionate scenes, or like when she's kind of hey lover boy, that song.
Yes.
When she's crawling across the floor is
Yes.
iconic.
Iconic.
I love
my
it.
God.
That pose that Patrick Swayze does on the
Yes.
ground.
Yeah.
He throws himself on the floor.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? And then when I realized they were like mouthing the
Yeah.
words to the song, I was like, okay.
A really good
Yeah.
scene.
Yes, that's a perfect scene.
So good.
And the way the music stops in that is when he lifts the record up.
Yeah.
The apple comes in.
Yes. Yeah, he kind of ruins it. I was pissed about
And
that.
then back to
Right. Yeah.
It's not a Changa.
And with one,
There's down to what I wanted.
one
Can we
day's
talk about when
notice.
I assume
Notice, yeah.
you can speak for this. You said you're a dancer. I mean, don't you need more than 1 day notice?
I mean, I'm not okay. I like to dance. I grew up dancing. I would
But
never
you
go
know
so
the
far as
world
to, like-
of it.
But yeah, no. I mean, how could you come into this room and be like, hey, so I want to do something new. And he's like, okay, cool. We're going to do something new. We have this whole dance. No. Do this. Something you've never done before with a few hours notice with all of your crew. It's like, are you stupid? What are we doing?
Right. And
Nobody
they almost
can do
wanted
that.
him to fail. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and I don't
they
know
did.
why. Why
Yeah,
would you
100%
not
they did.
want your crew or whoever you employ to like be successful.
Like
They wanted so badly to like get rid of this man. Just get rid of him.
Because that guy's in charge and he liked Baby and he sees that she likes Patrick Swayze's character, so it's simple, just stupid jealousy.
Yeah, but even his dad didn't like Patrick Swayze. The man that
Maybe he fucked his wife.
Hey, that's fair. Knowingly, he probably paid him to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bigger insult for some men.
Yeah,
So.
there you go.
Hey, maybe somebody's king. You never know.
What were we gonna say? Can we talk about what?
The scene where they're training in the lake.
Oh,
The lift scene. My God. That was hot. Does anyone else agree with me on that?
I don't want to like make myself sound like the shitty douchey dude, but you
please
can
do though.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, now that I have permission, man, you can totally see Jennifer Grey's breasts when they're in the water, like
Yes.
they're like popping out of that tank top.
And
And I'm like, yes, baby. Oh,
But I mean, at the same time, okay. So like Patrick, how many times do we see Patrick Swayze topless? Okay.
yes.
So right.
You
See,
like that.
see, you're into that. So we have one scene where she's wearing a white top and I mean I'm assuming a bra because you kind of see her like her shoulder straps slip up. Yeah.
She's itty bitty titty club.
They're cute. They're nice.
They are. They're cute.
They're very cute.
Yeah. But I mean, like it wasn't just like purely sexual because like you still see them both giggling and laughing and having a good time about it.
They were.
I don't think they're wrong.
I heard about that scene was like actually.
He busted his knee.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh,
He busts his on the log.
you
He's off the log.
Right. I mean, that whole montage, sure.
And at the end, the final dance scene, and he told the director, "I have one more in me," and they got it.
Nailed it.
And he nailed it. Yeah, absolutely.
But in the water scene, they were actually freezing to death.
Yeah, that's what right. And that's probably yes.
Yeah.
And it was quite apparent.
Yeah, they were not. They were like, we are cold.
Yeah,
Bond.
exactly. Because like they were kind of arguing, they were like, where were they? They were in like Johnny's little shanty or whatever, and like she kind of started bitching him out, and he's like, well, let's get the fuck out of here then. So then they go to the lake, you know, and they were kind of both in their comfort zone, even though like realistically they were both freezing to death. But in the movie, you know, for the sake of the
in the middle.
yeah, exactly.
They had to get out. Get out of their element.
Right.
I was watching one of the behind the scenes, and that the lake doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, the cinder blocks were at least still there when the behind the scenes was filmed, but I don't know if they're still there now. But I feel like somebody would steal it just because.
Right.
I want to go there, but it's in Virginia. I don't know if I want to go to Virginia.
Virginia.
Reasons. I don't know. Well, Virginia doesn't interest me.
Texas.
I do want to go to Texas. I got to see where Kennedy was shot, but that's neither here nor there.
Texas is great.
So
You like coffee?
that too,
I know that's not only in Texas anymore, but like I want to go to Texas for a few reasons, but I especially want to go to a Buc-ee's.
Oh my god, me too. It's like a gas station, but it's so much better.
Yeah,
Everything.
when we were driving to Wisconsin, there were some signs. Oh, Bucky, 1,000 miles that way. I'm not joking.
Miles.
1,000 miles.
It was
You
like
missed
3
that part?
miles, and he was like,
If you're in Wisconsin, I mean,
Yeah, they're not around here.
yeah.
But I was like, why is there a sign telling me to go 1,000 miles? Come on, now. I'm not going 1,000 miles or
They
anything.
have like sandwich that's just calling my name.
Wisconsin was in Florida. There's a gas station down there too. It's like the Flomo Mart or something like that. But yeah, it's like it's the same thing. Like everyone's like, oh, we got to go there because it has everything, even though it's a gas station.
The gas station.
Yeah.
Sleep at a gas station, no.
Dude, I love a good quick trip.
Right?
My stuff.
Right?
That was love.
Now I want a slushy, a roast beef sandwich, and some and some beaver nuggets.
Where can you get that in Canada?
Nowhere, because they're not
Poutine?
fucking Buc-ee's.
Yes.
Can we
Poutine.
say one thing about
Poutine.
Canada that I know of? That poutine, you guys are onto something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Poutine,
Yes.
yeah,
Thank
poutine
you.
is
Yes.
definitely
It
poutine
is
is fucking
everything.
amazing, and I'm
It's
happy that so many
good.
people love it. Like it's a
Thank you.
damn good dish.
It's also the worst thing for you ever, but fuck
Yeah,
it.
hello.
That's fine.
It's,
Move on.
it's fucking
American,
it's French
who
fries,
cares?
gravy, and melted
Melted
cheese.
cheese.
Yes,
That does sound good.
Cheese curd.
Everything the growing body needs.
yes.
One growing body. It depends on what part you're trying to grow. But yes. I do also want to talk about where the hell did you get those giant watermelons from?
Yes.
Dude.
I really wanted that watermelon too.
I would have had all three.
How terrible, but been happy. I would love watermelon. Totally.
I actually made a note. I loved how that was Baby's first interaction with Johnny. When he's kind of he's kind of like, who the fuck is this? And she was like, I carried a watermelon.
And she's like, well, didn't say that.
Yeah, and then he walked away,
that.
and she was like, I carried a watermelon. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, she's someone that's staying at the resort, somebody with money. He's someone that's working all this to get by. Like, it's a different world.
I see her as a child. I'm sorry.
Right, she is. Right. Yeah, 100%.
And has been sheltered from everything.
Yes.
So
because she's had everything provided to her.
But also, like, I don't know. I do see it differently now that I'm an adult than when I was younger.
Yeah.
That, like, I feel like a little bit he took advantage of this girl.
He was 25, she was 17, right there.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know she wanted to be with him, of course, like in ways, but like he totally, I don't know. I don't see him the same way. And maybe correct.
I get that.
Are you talking about Patrick Swayze's character?
Yes.
Can you explain?
He first of all, he knew the power behind him, like by the bitches or women throwing themselves at him.
Sure.
And clearly, this was a sheltered little girl. Sorry, she was 17 and had daddy like controlling her whole life. And I feel like he was just kind of like, baby. Sure.
But he kind of treated her like a dick, like for quite a while.
But he was using kind of that power, like to kind of, I don't know. I don't see him as I did when I was younger. But maybe I'm wrong.
I get that.
And maybe
get that.
yeah. I just feel like he in the sense of like he needed her help, I guess. He also was like
he kind of rejected her help though. Like if you remember when she goes running off to daddy and he gives her the money and she's like, here's the money, and he's like, oh, did you get that from daddy?
Well,
and then Penny is immediately like, okay, well, I don't want the money.
Because she doesn't want what might be attached to it.
Right.
Well, and Penny was also burned by kind of the rich folks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Very much.
100%.
Robbie. But no, I don't know. I think he should have kind of held back, in my opinion. I don't think he should have came for it at the end either.
I get that.
I would be surprised if they ever ended up being anything.
They don't.
No, 100%. No. I mean, if you remember, like when he left, I mean, she assumed he was gone forever.
Yeah.
They weren't really all that sad about it. I mean, they were kind of like, they were kind of like laughing and joking, like, ha ha ha. And then he leaves. And I mean, like, they show like a couple of montages where, like, obviously she's sad that he's gone, but it's not like they were crying over each other when he jumps into his 57 Chevy Bel Air. Yes, I looked that up. And he
knew your car.
Oh, God, yeah. No. And he tears ass off out of there. And, like, she was just kind of like, whatever, you know.
But I think that fits because, like, when you're 17, 18, you're going off to college, you got your whole life ahead of you. You're like, this is just this fun moment in time. I mean,
I don't think she saw it that way at all.
No?
Maybe not. That's how I feel. No,
how do you think she saw it?
She was
100%. That's why I was like, why isn't she sadder about this? You know what I mean? Like, he's like, okay, I'm leaving now. And she's just kind of like, okay, hey, remember when we did this?
Remember when we did like 10 times this summer?
Yeah.
Remember when you took my virginity?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yes.
I guess I see it a little different. I feel like she's at that scene where they're saying goodbye at the car.
Yep.
She's trying to be a grown up. And he says something to her in one of their moments when he asks her name and she's like Frances, and he's like, wow, that's like a really grown up name.
Yeah, that was actually the first time that they fornicated.
Yeah. And so I feel like she's trying to kind of emulate his emotions and be a big girl about it, you know, not be a baby.
That's actually a really good
big
point.
Girl. And because then you see her sad afterwards with her sister and
100%.
You know,
100%.
Yeah. So that's my perception of her.
I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, you are.
I think we're just all jaded.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Not necessarily.
He's like, no.
We're a little jaded.
What happens when you watch a movie 14 million billion times?
There you go.
But see, this was my first time watching it all the way through.
You never seen it before?
Like I said, bits and pieces. You know, like I'd go I'd go downstairs and like, you know, my cousins are watching it and I'm kind of like, I'm out of here. You know, but other than that, yeah, this is the first time I watched it from beginning to end. Okay. And yeah, I was genuinely confused by their interactions together when he was saying goodbye, like, you know, as far as she knew, forever. and they didn't seem all that upset about it.
I think she's right though. Like she was trying to be a
I agree. Yeah. The way you said that was perfect. Yeah, I think she was just kind of...
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
feel so
Yes. Right. Because obviously she wanted to
have a relationship.
Yeah.
She could, but maybe she realized there's no way that they could be together.
Right.
She's an uptown girl. He's a
Exactly.
downtown boy.
Yeah.
So
Living in her uptown world.
Living in her white bread world.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where Penny was explaining that she like kind of became homeless. And so dancing was like her only means,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yes.
And what Baby said was like, I'm envious.
I like
Right.
that.
That's how
Yeah.
that's how naive this girl was.
Also, she didn't. I 100% don't think she meant just dancing.
No.
I feel 100% insinuating prostitution was forced too. That's how I took it in that scene. It's the way that she says it.
So are we saying that Penny is a prostitute? No.
I'm saying that she might have had to. Someone's
Right.
Why?
because it's 1963. She's homeless.
Is that going to be your excuse for everything? It's 1960.
It's gonna be an excuse for a lot of things. Yeah.
I don't know. I in what way was it insinuated she was ever a prostitute?
You upset Franky now.
I do apparently. I feel like there was a line where, like, how upset she gets when she says, "I'm envious of you." I don't know. I just felt like it was more of that.
I think it's the whole rich poor kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Maybe it's just me
income
reading
inequality.
into.
That's a
Yeah,
I
I've
think I
never
just listened to
gotten
that Reba
a
song.
prostitute.
I think that's what.
I think that's a huge leap. If she was like, she settled for Robbie, like that's the one. Get out, man.
I don't know. Maybe I've heard fancy too many times. Okay, let's go with that.
Okay, that's fair.
Reba.
The rich guys that were there, like, wouldn't she have like?
I don't think she was then. I'm just saying that it might have happened earlier in her life when she's talking about being homeless with the dancing. I don't know. It's just the way I took it, the way she said it this time that I watched it. But then again, this is just my jaded brain.
Honestly, like the only thing I took from that scene, because they were doing like a wig competition. Yeah.
Something.
The only thing I took from that scene is like, this is the lamest summer camp like resort I have ever heard of in my life.
Fancy, like she was considered, and she is beautiful. She is, and a lot of them admired her for that. And so they went to these classes where she was teaching them to be either beautiful or a different person, or you know what I mean.
I mean, you remember months. What
Yeah.
to do.
And like
Want to.
Baby's got like this wig on, right? And then Patrick Swayze shows up and says, "You all look beautiful," and she immediately tears the wig off, and it's her natural self again.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, that wig was a little ridiculous.
it was ridiculous. Yeah.
That's
But at the same time,
No
like,
wig glue.
a wig competition, really? Like, what kind of place is this? Also,
63.
yes. I loved that the event coordinator guy was the dude from Jurassic Park, Dennis Nedry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Midnight.
We got to mention Wayne Knight.
Yes, Wayne Knight. Yes. Right.
And still, someday, if I ever get the chance to meet him, I'm going to tell him how I made that joke to a woman in their 50s, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I did not know the line. How do you not know?
It's Jurassic Park,
She missed
man.
the mark.
Yeah.
It was sleeping.
It was. I know. I know who it was. I was there.
The dullest
Well,
woman
Tammy's
ever
different.
created.
Yes.
It was just. I just remember that when you didn't say the magic word.
Yep.
Like what? And she looked at me.
And then Samuel L. Jackson loses
They
his
did.
shit.
So did the 21-year-old that was in the room too. So neither one knew what the hell I was talking about. I'm like, but if I ever get a chance to meet him, I'm going to tell him that story, and he won't give a shit. Tell him anyway. But I really enjoyed him in this movie.
How did you like me in Seinfeld?
I've only seen 2 episodes of Seinfeld ever in my life.
Yeah.
When I was stuck, I was getting oil changed. It was just on TV, and my computer didn't work. I don't know. I never watched it. Yeah, it was like less than 2 years ago. No.
I think you've learned more on this podcast
Oh,
about
she knows a lot. Don't worry. She just
than
Yeah.
our whole lives together.
She exaggerates.
Daily.
She plays the dramatized version of herself sometimes. No, I'm
We're
not.
actually fighting now.
Right? Yeah.
You're getting a divorce.
Yeah. No, we're
Time to sit on the
We're getting
podcast.
a divorce.
we're currently separating them. The police are here.
I mean, I could play a siren sound on my phone.
Yeah.
So, anything else I want to mention about this movie? I'm glad you brought up Wayne Knight because I like. Oh, at one point they win a contest. He gives her a duck. Was she supposed to just take a duck home?
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Because like
Or chicken?
like, 'cause,
Whatever
like
it was.
the magician saw her in half or
That's a
whatever,
woman.
and then they handed. Was it a duck or was it a chicken? Whatever it was, it's still weird. Yeah.
Well, at least you can,
Oh,
at least you can, at least you can cook it and eat it.
Exactly.
Could you cook your friend?
Fuck you, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, so we always make this joke because when her dad used to be alive, Tiffany's, he would see a turkey and he would say, "Oh, dinner," and he would joke. And I told him, I said, if we had that turkey, I would come into the room with you feeding the turkey bread, and you guys be sitting together. There'd be no cooking the animal.
Right.
Like, Yeah, like that's just who he was.
That's running on like the suburban dad logic of like the family gets a pet and the dad's like, I'm not taking care of it.
Right.
And then like 2 months later, the dad's like in love with the pet and like kisses it and hugs it.
Oh yeah.
And fucking hangs out with it all the
That's
time.
what I think of every time.
Perfect example. I had a cat growing up. It was from my great grandpa's farm, so it was naturally an outside cat, and kept all the critters and rodents out of our yard. But and I mean, Christ, that thing lived till I was like 18, and my dad was always like just hated the cat. He would always like rub up against his leg, and he'd kick him across the room. He'd be like, "Get out of here!" But when the cat died, he was like, he was a good cat. He really was a good cat.
It was also good when I
Exactly.
kicked her several times.
Yeah,
Like, you asshole.
when all those molehills started showing up in our front yard, he was a really good cat.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's what cats do, and cats what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine just look at a mouse and go, "Oh, what's that? That's nice. You want me to do anything about it?" No, I'll just watch it and play with it.
3 feet away.
Right.
I literally one time picked up my cat, put her in front of the mouse, said, "Get it," and she just walked away. I'm like, "You're a useless."
We want to do
Same.
things and they want to do things.
That's what I told her too. I said, "You're a useless kitty," and then I pet her and gave her treats. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, wow.
She's an adult kitty woman. She's allowed to do what she wants.
She's
Yeah,
I don't know which one he's talking
Kira, it was Kira I put in front of the
You
mouse.
sleep with rich men or
I mean, she has me wrapped around her finger every day. She meows and packs my comics and tells me to feed her, and I feed her.
The thing
So, oh god, I'd be terrible. I'm a sucker for a kitten.
Say, how did everyone feel when Johnny whooped Robbie's ass?
Oh,
I loved it.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Was it not awesome?
Fuck
Yeah.
Robbie, he's a piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Fuck Robbie, exactly.
I like how nobody helps either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody helped. I was like, no, fuck him.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want to get in the middle of that either.
Honestly,
He walked
so
up
like,
looking for that beating.
yeah. When he did that, I kind of thought, oh shit, that's Johnny's demise because Robbie's going to go tell on him.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but Robbie didn't say shit, which I was kind of surprised about. But I loved like the sweet little moment that Johnny and Baby had afterwards. Like he gets done fighting this guy, and he's like, "You're not worth it," And he walks over to Baby, and Baby's just kind of staring at him, and then they just embrace each
He's
other.
like, okay, I'm.
Yeah, right. I loved
I'm
that
a
scene.
big fan for fight scenes.
Yeah,
Especially
Same.
like when it's somebody getting what they deserve.
exactly.
Yes.
I like when he paused and was like, hit me right here, do it.
And the dumbass takes the bait.
Yes.
When someone says hit me, you don't hit them, you
Right.
walk away.
I know.
Yeah,
And you hit him.
Because it means they're going to beat the shit out of you. That's what
Yeah.
it means.
Yep.
Get that one hit in then.
Right.
But
Yeah, I
if,
try to take them out in
if
one
they
swing.
tell you to hit you, it means they know how to fight too.
Right.
Yep.
It's like,
And I mean, he didn't
Never.
even buckle. He didn't even buckle. But I forget what Robbie says to Johnny. He's like, "Oh, I guess like I should have something about like."
He said I picked the wrong. I guess I picked the wrong daughter. Don't worry, I've been slumming too.
That's what it was. The slumming. Yes. And as soon as he says that, Johnny's like, "Fuck no."
Insinuating that Baby is like lesser than the other
Yes.
sister.
100%.
because you fucked with Johnny.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why Johnny beat the hell.
Yes. He basically said that this girl that you're with is the slummiest piece of shit. Yeah.
Because she's stuck with you.
Yes.
I guess I always attributed that comment to Baby.
It is.
Yeah, it's an
But
No,
100%.
like meaning that Baby went slumming with Johnny.
Yeah, no, that's how I take it too, because he considers like when he says I've been slumming it too, he's referencing the other woman that he got pregnant. That's how I take it.
Okay.
This is like,
Damn.
this is a-
Yeah.
This is a whole new level.
My mind has been blown.
You also blame that
You're
alcohol.
amazing.
Yeah.
I totally get, yeah, everything you've been saying is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I
You
get
should
it.
chime in more.
But I'm
letting us
listening
think of
because, but nobody here watches with me, so
Yeah.
I don't get to hear other people's opinions.
Oh, sure. Sure.
That's what you make. You have a podcast too, but you guys don't review movies, do you? I can't remember.
Where are you?
No, not really, but we do mostly TV.
Okay. Where are you from?
Yeah. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and now I live in Jersey.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And it's funny
Jersey girl.
because no, whoa, we
She's never been to New Jersey or New York, for the record, anywhere around that area.
I like to say I just sleep here.
Okay, fair enough.
I pay bills here.
Yeah.
You want to talk
So
about New
I grew
Jersey?
up
Talk
in New
to
York
Bill.
City. What happened?
One of my buddies that I record with a lot in here, he's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I really
Pretty sure
like
from New
that
Jersey.
accent.
But
I think it makes you sound like a boss.
when I was
I'll be
a
doing my
kid,
homework tonight.
growing up, so
Yeah.
in the movie you see Cousin Brucey. You hear him on the radio, and he plays the magician. But he was a radio station host, like I think it was like the oldie station. So growing up, I used to always hear him on the radio, like in the cars, in the house, or whatever. And then it was like he was in the movie, and I'm like, wait, I know that voice. So it was like for me, you know, for somebody who grew up with the, you know, my parents listened to the radio, whatever. But you know, it was like another connection because he was in the movie, but he was always in our life, and it always made me think of the movie. So then it was like, I want to go watch Dirty Dancing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Cousin Brucey.
I kind of want to watch this movie again now.
One of those ones I can only see like once a year.
But I don't know.
Yeah, even the end of the movie when they're singing the Kellerman song. You know how every school has their school song. Ours had the exact same music for elementary school. Now ask me to sing the Carol School song, and I can't. But ask me to sing the Dirty Dancing song, and I'm like, okay, I know the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I heard the Kellerman song, it was stuck in my head all fucking day.
Yeah.
I don't like the song.
No, I hated it.
But it fits. I'm going to say it again. It fits the damn 60s. So I do like She's Like the Wind. I like it that it's a Patrick Swayze song that he wrote and then put in this movie.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know
he wrote it before this, and he said this. I think this will be perfect for this movie because they needed music because they didn't have music at first. And then the last song,
Time of My Life.
Yeah, I do love that song.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was smiling
Same. I was
smiling the entire time.
That's a great final scene.
Although I gotta say, like, I kind of felt bad for Baby because he just kind of left her awkwardly on the stage. You know, she's just kind of standing there like,
yeah.
Meanwhile, he's got like his whole montage behind him doing their shit. Yeah.
There's a lot of dancers.
Yeah. Weird that they all knew the exact, you know, choreography to that song too. But
Don't ask questions.
right. You don't ask questions.
I took it as they just kind of followed his lead.
Yeah,
you're right. I'll do it at the exact same time. So they knew the choreography. You're right.
All those people, they were all
dancers, but you don't really ever see them
that's
do.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, what is their job?
They're called extras, baby.
Shut up. They're working at the forest.
Like, don't fucking mansplain your
This is like
wife, you
the third
asshole.
time you've said divorce.
This is normal.
Say the word anymore.
This is normal.
We're editing this out. It's all getting edited out.
It's all part of the podcast.
All right, but then there was the final lift, right?
Yes.
My God.
That's a good scene.
Yes.
They finally landed it.
Well, I loved what the dad said to Baby, like, before that happened. You know, he was kind of like, you looked great out there. You know, like, that's all he had to say.
But she got
He didn't, right. Like, he didn't have to say, I'm sorry. He didn't have to say, I take everything back that I said about this, what I thought to be a douchebag. All he said was, I feel you look great out there. That's all he had to say.
I think he was trying to support her in a nice way. But, like, he didn't like Johnny more than before. I mean,
like, he kind of figured out that, like, well, because if you remember, he said, like, he said, like, I admit when I'm wrong and I say when I'm wrong. Because, like, there was, like, this.
I say I'm wrong.
Yes. Like, you see him and Penny talking. Like, you don't hear exactly what they say. But you know she said, like, no, like, Johnny didn't do anything to me. It was this fucktard who just ratted himself out to you.
Literally wrote a recommendation.
Yeah. And then he approaches Johnny and says, look, when I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. He didn't exactly say that he liked the guy, but he understands that Baby loves this guy. And that's all, and, you know, that's all he had to say was like, hey, you look great out there dancing with Johnny.
I bet they moved on with their lives and like Baby like forever just thought about him. Like in every aspect.
Oh yeah.
She probably has like a little
like a
toe in a box somewhere.
Yeah, she's got a whole memory.
Yeah. She grew on to be depressed and alone for the rest of her life. Meanwhile, Johnny still works at this place and
married that little weasel.
Yeah. What's his name? Neil. Neil is his name. Yeah.
I'll disagree with that. I would say
did that guy suck his own dick any harder? I mean, he's like,
should have tried.
Yeah, he was something. Like
he was something.
Rich and I'm so great.
Yeah. So, you know, when I was with this one girl, another girl came up to me and said, and I said, well, guess what? I'm going to this college and I have this degree, blah, blah, blah. So, meh.
He tells Baby how he stole this girl from someone else because he said he has 2 hotels. You don't.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. It's
and
the
what
whole
does he
hotel
have
thing.
that I don't? And I said, 2 hotels.
Yeah.
And you just want to punch him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, why are you telling
square in the dick?
in my experience, any kind of line like that is not going to win the girl over.
No.
Yep.
So,
But it's the 60s.
Well, and then in that same scene when they see Lisa and Robbie passing, and that's
Yeah.
when she's
Yes.
kind of like pulling her, and she wants an apology, and he's like, well, maybe you'll get one in your dreams. And then Neil is like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to see that. Sometimes in life, and I'm like, oh my. Okay, I don't know if I can curse.
Like, could
this.
he
I'm
be?
like,
you're welcome to. I don't mind.
Right,
We curse
right,
all the
right.
time. Good
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
Because
at the same
Neil-
time, like such a small little boy.
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
He's just a
Neil would have
weasel.
wanted to punch me after I was done telling him
Yeah.
that. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my fucking God. No, shut the fuck up.
Keep going. Keep going.
For him.
Keep going. I want to hear this.
No, it's-
No, but I'm just saying, like, I can't. I sometimes I wonder how I'm still alive and how nobody has shot me, because sometimes I forget.
That's because you're a
sometimes I
Joycey girl.
forget, like, hey.
No, she's a New York. God
I'll
damn
give
it.
you her address if you want to.
Yeah. We're in
I'm a
Minnesota.
Brooklyn girl. It works.
Right.
Tell by my accents.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Yeah.
We are.
It's just
A little
that
bit.
condescending bullshit, and it's like, no,
He
miss
is
me with that
Such a.
shit.
He's such a.
But he's rich. It's the 60s.
It's
Fuck it again.
oh my god! If you have to hit the 60s one more fucking time,
Probably.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna listen to this and see how many times we
No,
say
you're
what
not.
it's
No,
No, you're
I
not.
don't-
here's the thing.
Lie to me.
Here's the thing. So
Don't lie to me.
before I wrote Robbie is a huge douche, the note before that was Neil is an incredible douche, and he
Yep.
thinks he's the shit.
Yep.
Yes.
He owns
So-
two.
Yeah.
this man watched this movie.
And they're probably
in its
not his, they're
entirety
his
today.
uncle.
Yeah,
And he took notes.
Yeah.
Good job.
Lots of notes.
He did.
and that's because he knew we were coming on this podcast.
Yeah.
I took zero
he's
notes.
He's
And I
very.
host this podcast.
He's very prepared.
I don't.
He's a preparer.
Anymore.
No, and like in. Yeah, let's not give Neil any more attention.
No.
I agree.
Neil deserves zero credit.
Yeah. Can we go to the scene just one more time with the watermelon so we can put this to bed?
The
I
water-
want to vote. Do you feel like the cousin, and now I forgot his name,
Billy.
Billy had
Billy.
a crush on Baby?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
I see it.
No, I don't see it.
See, and I'm
We missed one. Lisa?
no that was,
I don't know. I get the impression that he wouldn't have been opposed to it, but he wasn't looking for it either.
I didn't
He's
think
not-
he
I don't
liked
know,
her
he's
like that.
like
Yeah,
neutral.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as they interact, he's kind of like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Get out of here!" You know. I didn't see any like chemistry between them whatsoever.
I didn't think so.
Maybe I just saw a guy see pretty girl. That's all my brain.
Mikey, that's
Fair enough.
through Mikey's brain.
Something.
It's pretty.
Girl.
Then he might like her. That's ridiculous. Sorry.
Not in my experience,
You're
unfortunately.
loaded. Well, in your lifetime.
But all right, anything else you guys want to bring up? Or should we go to shelf stacker box?
Should we talk about the budget?
Sure, we can talk.
Okay. So again, I took vicarious notes. All right. So this movie, it was a $6 million budget. It was filmed in North Carolina and Virginia. They kind of went back and forth. $6 million. Worldwide, this movie made $214.5 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
A lot.
In 1987, it was one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Of all time. And it was the first film, when they released it on VHS, it was the first film to ever sell over 1 million copies.
Woo!
Right?
It's a lot of copies.
Yes.
Mine was DVD. I did not contribute to that.
I have a question
Yeah.
about. Okay, did anyone else have this movie on VHS?
Yes,
I did
in
not-
my home we did.
I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, my
Okay.
grandparents did, like I said.
Do you? This is going to be so random, but I
Go on.
can't find anyone to help me. Does anyone
Okay.
remember the preview at the beginning?
No.
No.
And it was like some. Oh my goodness!
You mean when they're all dancing?
No, she's
No,
talking
no,
like
no,
a
no,
trailer
no,
on the
like-
VHS tape.
Okay,
Yes,
go on though. I
yes.
want to hear it.
And it was like some scary vampire church. It's like all that I can remember. I don't remember the name of the movie, but every time
Right?
that I put on this movie and
Yeah.
the Vestron thing comes up, it always flashes that into my memory of like this kind of coffin in a church, vampire, dark,
Really?
candlelit kind of.
can
And
think of
I don't
something.
remember what the movie was, but
It might be Fright Night Part 2.
Oh, okay. Well, I was close.
Fright Night Part
I-
2, really? 1987?
Yeah, I don't think so.
1988.
I don't even remember Fright Night.
I don't know.
Fright Night,
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Fright Night 1 is 1985, and Fright Night Part 2 is, I'm pretty sure, 1988.
Okay.
That could fit VHS.
Okay. Yeah.
VHS would have been
That
a year
might
later.
overlap. Yeah.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
kind of
I've
like
never seen it, but
going back to
maybe?
Sister Act, right?
Exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, it was like vampire. Oh God,
You remember? I'm not
Yes!
crazy. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
honey, you're not crazy. You're not. I know exactly
Enough
what
of
you're
this.
talking about, though.
Okay.
It was a corny, cheesy, freaking
Yes.
vampire movie.
I never saw
Yes.
the movie.
With Val
I just
Kilmer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Didn't it flop?
Why not?
It was
Probably.
faster. Whatever this company was, they made bad movies.
Yeah.
They literally made
If you
cheap.
don't know,
And
what
was it?
Is that like RJN and
I
video games?
remember it. It was very corny and very weird. But yes, it was definitely before the movie.
Is that like
But
okay?
it
Going
wasn't-
back to Sister Act, same director, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the music video before Sister Act on VHS? If my
No.
sister's in trouble, so am I.
I don't remember that at all.
Look it up on YouTube. It's actually a great song.
Everyone, by the way, that's my future husband.
Yes.
So just think.
What a cat.
Look it up. You'll love it. It'll be stuck in your head for days.
True catch this one.
Yes.
Anything else you guys want to mention?
No.
Well, I guess. Okay. So I guess.
Wait. So did we
Yes.
get a name for that movie, or was it Fright Night?
I don't
Google
know.
Val Kilmer
Val
80s
Kilmer.
vampire film.
Okay, all right.
Vampire film.
Okay,
Alright.
while they're looking that up, the
What?
scene where Baby and her dad are kind of like, like he's sitting on the dock or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I lied to you, but you lied to me too, and he kind of like starts crying.
Yeah.
Like that shit broke me. You know what I mean?
Because you have two dogs.
Yes, because I have two daughters. Yeah. So it definitely it hits a lot harder.
Aw.
When I think of my daughters, like if they ever said that to me, oh yeah, I'd be a fucking puddle as well.
I have
All right.
3.
Yeah.
One who
You
is
have 3
18, one
daughters.
who will be
Oh.
yes, one is 18, one will actually be 17 tomorrow. And
Wow! Happy
Yeah,
birthday to her! Wow.
Yeah, no
Thank
kidding.
you. And it definitely hits different when you have kids. that
Yes. Oh my
are
God.
the
Yes.
same age.
It's different.
Dude, 100%. That's why, again, like I said, I never watched this movie all the way through until literally this morning. So when I saw the dad, trying to protect his daughter, I was like, fuck yeah, this dude,
Yeah.
he knows what he's talking about, right? That's his daughter, And,
will
that scene where
say-
she's like, you lied to me, but I lied to you too. I was kind of like, oh.
I will
You know?
say though, as a parent, I think that I get it. I get where he's coming from, but I also think that he actually handled himself pretty well. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he's
didn't,
a great
100%.
dad.
he didn't really
100%.
like
Great dad.
Yes. Yes.
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
she asked him for $250. She's like, sure, take it. And then, the scene where, he has to go and help Penny, he's like, I need your help. He's like, fuck it, whatever. Where are we going?
Let's
go. Yeah.
He doesn't ask any
There's a
questions.
trust
He should have.
built there.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Yes, it is. It's gorgeous. That father-daughter bond
Yeah.
is
it's
absolutely
really
undeniable, and I get it.
good. Yeah. For sure. Agreed.
I didn't do it. Why are you
Nothing.
looking at me?
All right, we're going to go to Shelf Stacker Box.
All right.
Tiffany, why don't you go first? This was your pick.
Shelf. 100% shelf. I'll watch it over and over again, probably.
You say that. We only watch it once if we've been together.
I
will.
I will watch it over and over again in my mind.
When you guys
Sure.
get divorced.
When we get divorced,
Yeah.
I get drink and see the divorce.
As mentioned, 17 times in this podcast.
Many
Okay.
times, more than that.
Yeah.
Because the friends he podcast with would go dead silence when I would say it.
Yeah, I don't record
They
this.
just dead silence.
And that's why there's not many people to record with us.
Right. Yeah.
But
We're checking them off the block one by one.
and Kyle, what about you? Shelf Stacker Box.
Easily on the shelf.
All right, I'll go next. I'm putting it on the shelf too. I love this movie, and I did not realize how much rewatching this would hit me, and how much it took me back to 2006. It really did.
Right.
It was weird, but it was a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And Lisa, what about you?
Shelf is when is like the best one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that one. Yes. I
Okay.
That one.
every time, anytime. Considering I have a line from the movie tattooed onto my body, I think.
what is
What is it? What is it?
Oh, it's The Steps Aren't Enough. Feel the music. It's on
Okay.
my
Wow.
Okay. Perfect.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
that's awesome. That's
It's really
that's
cool.
truly awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Jared.
Shelf 100%. Like I said, I watched it the first time all the way through, and
Today.
today, yeah, and I fucking loved it. Yeah, I think it definitely, like Mike says, it definitely stands the test of time.
It does.
And as a father to 2 daughters, I'm like, yeah, I get it, you know? So I'd say shelf it 100%.
All right. And Franky.
If it's on, I'll watch it. I don't know which one that is, but
Is that the middle one?
I'm not gonna search for it.
We'll say stack.
Yeah, we'll stack it.
I'll
We'll
stack
stack
it.
it.
If it's on, I'll watch it. But watching it now is just different than when I'm younger, for sure.
As a mother, you know, when you see Patrick Swayze, like, you creepy motherfucker, I get it.
It gets a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd watch it.
Stack it. You'd stack it.
Stack it up.
All right. And first, I just want to thank the Patreons for picking this movie because it was voted by Patreon. So you can do that too. Join our Patreon poll. Little's $1 a month. We have 1 to 2 polls every month. And Kyle, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Blue Sky at chibiufo.bsky.social. And you can find me on my very own podcast, the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast, or the UFO Podcast.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Well, I'll be there.
And Lisa.
Sassensips.com, SASSNI. Wow, I can't spell. Have I been drinking? SASSNSIPS.com. You can
Noisy
link from
girl
there
right
over
there.
to. Oh my goodness! Is it my time to go?
I know. I'm sorry. I like to
He's been
put
drinking too.
Drinking
No,
Yeah.
Mike drives.
But yeah, from there you can link on over to everywhere else, and it's a rewatch podcast that I do with one of my longtime besties. We met in elementary school in Brooklyn, not Jersey.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
She's actually in
Not Jersey.
Wisconsin now. Yeah, not Jersey.
Wisconsin. Right. Yeah.
She's
feel
in
sorry.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I make fun of the state too. I get down Milwaukee all the time in this podcast. Even in my job, I cut down Milwaukee sometimes, but not the people, not in those calls. But so no, all people make fun of Wisconsin. I do it too. It deserves it. I've been there.
Yeah, what are they, like, the number 1 drunkest state
They
in
are.
the nation?
They are, and I think
Yeah.
10 of the drunkest cities are all in Wisconsin.
Right.
And you're not much of a drinker.
No, I didn't like Milwaukee. I guess, huh?
That's why he's in Minnesota. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It's
I like
right.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, where they call soda pap.
That's right.
Yes, we do.
Which,
No, I call it soda. I call it soda.
I also
What
call
do they call it in Canada?
Well, I was just going to say, which I actually would feel at home at Minnesota then, because in Canada, the good majority of us in the country say pop.
There you go.
No, I say pop.
I've never.
I say pop now too.
I always say, do you want a soda?
I had to when I came here. They wouldn't give me one if I said, "Oh, what kind of soda?" They'd be like, "What's that?" Like, you know what I mean? They wouldn't give it.
Yeah.
Say it right.
You want a Coke?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a different state. But all right, if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 750 other episodes of this podcast. We do movies, comics, TV shows, video games. You can find all our content that we do on Podbean. Just go in the Podbean bar, search. You never know what you're going to find. We do tons of content. Since I said always want to support the show, we do a Patreon. If you want to join the show, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things I will someday get to, please join our Discord. You will see a link in the show notes in this episode and all episodes. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Elena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram if you go check her out. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. He's probably still talking Final Fantasy. Definitely go check out his show. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, TikTok sometimes. And rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time.
You heard.
Bye, everybody.
You heard.
Bye, everybody.